top is solid. So for Jay Triano, great moment for the Raptors. They figured out who their lead guy is. They can move forward now.
7 seasons as an assistant, as you can see there, before he took over on an interim basis. He'll be the first Canadian-born head coach in NBA history. And, of course, as you know, head coach of the Canadian national team has been your coach. We've talked about this a little bit over the course of the season while he was a member of the coaching staff. But now let's talk about it from your perspective of what it is that he does. What are the positives that Jay Triano brings as a head coach?
Well, first of all, he's going to work hard at it. Jay Triano is going to put the hours in. He's going to do everything behind the scenes that's going to give his team a chance for success. And also, he's very creative. When he thinks about basketball, he thinks outside of the box. Things that maybe aren't mainstream, but have a chance at work. And he's a basketball person through and through. And I like the fact that Jay Triano right now, when you think about how big this is for Canadian coaches in general, I mean, Jay Triano started as a great athlete, but he coached in Canadian university system and built his way up. And if you're talking about an impact on the basketball culture in Canada as a coach, this is huge. Guys can now believe that this is an opportunity for them as well.
He clearly learned a lot over the portion of the time of the season where he was head coach, interim head coach with the Toronto Raptors. But how much did he learn in your conversations? How much could you tell that he learned as an assistant for as long as he was in the NBA with the Toronto Raptors?
Well, Jay's the type of person that's always going to be taking notes. He's always looking at different ways that he would implement if he was in that head coaching spot. And I think that's how it started. But as an assistant, you learn by giving input, by watching things and giving as much information as you can. And Jay was always that guy. And the fact that he's going to get a chance to implement all those ideas on his own is a huge opportunity.
You see the 12-15 record after the All-Star break, and clearly when you look at the overall record at 25-40, it wasn't a great record as far as wins and losses in its entirety, but at the same time, it was also about the way they finished. I mean, he was in a situation where he took over for Sam Mitchell, really wanted to change things, wanted to implement his own thing of what it is that he wanted to do with the players that he had. Then the players changed with the trade deadline and what was going on there. So it took a little while for him to get into a groove. Do you think that groove started to happen near the end of the season when the record was better?
Well, I think everybody understood that the transition would not be smooth, the situation that they were in. And we saw the end of the season, better play by his team. And I think, you know, one way of telling how much a coach can have an impact is by seeing how players respond in losing situations. And we heard every player say that they were impressed with what Jay Triano did as a head coach under those circumstances. So that says a lot. And you know, I'm not surprised. I mean, I've played for him. I understand his work ethic. And I understand also that there's no quitting Jay Triano. He's going to work until he can get it right. And the fact that they lost, yes, it hurt him. It hurt him badly. But he understood the bigger goal and understood that he had to keep players playing at a high level. And he got that for the most part. And players respect that. When you work just as hard as them, they're going to have a lot of respect for what you do in terms of what you say to them.
There's the finish I was referring to when you think of the 9-4 record over the last 13 games, 107 points per game, 51% from the field. So clearly it was a very good situation with the way that they finished, as Frank Colangelo, president and general manager of the Raptors, as well as Jay Triano, the new head coach of the Raptors, arriving here at the Rogers Media Center. We'll send it to the podium now.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I want to be the first to welcome and introduce Jay Triano as the new head coach of the Toronto Raptors. We have, gone through an extensive evaluation process and done a lot of soul searching internally, and came to the conclusion that Jay Triano was the right leader for this team as we move forward. So thus, we will now lose the interim tag on the head coaching title, and immediately, and a new contract will be in place for the next 3 years as the head coach of the team. Jay? Just say a few more things. We had an opportunity to get to know Jay, obviously, over the organization has over the last 7 years. There's been a long relationship in terms of his history with assistant coaching in this league, and him being more involved with this particular organization over the last several years it's been a great opportunity to kind of see what he's made of, and see what his basketball mindset is, and to talk philosophy. But then to see it, put into action when he was named the interim head coach He was given not the most ideal circumstances to fight through. Yet each day showed up with a positive attitude, encouraging the team, teaching this team, leading this team, and the players responded. It didn't necessarily pan out in the form of wins all the time, but it did pan out in the form of respect from the players, the entire team, to Jay, the head coach. And that ability and that premise is one of the primary things that you hope to see when coach takes the reins. And so, to witness it firsthand, to see it in action, and to really accentuate, the strong finish that we had once the team got healthy, once he had a full complement of players, once there was some familiarity after a significant in-season trade. Everything started to gel and come together, and it resulted in the success we were hopeful for really throughout the year. Any deficiencies in the roster I've already talked about, that falls on me. But, make no mistake about it, there's no deficiencies here with Jay as the head coach of this basketball team. So I will leave that to you.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Brian, and I look